Hi, my name is I Coach Chandler, and I just want to talk to you guys about how I got out of prostitution. And it was not an easy thing for me. I think that it wasn't an easy thing for me is because I wanted it. Like, it's like, it was like I wanted out, but when I got out, I was like, I miss it. I desire it. I craved it. I wanted it so bad that my flesh would crawl. That's how much of a hold that it had on me, and it still tries to creep up and have on me. And I've been out of it for about 3 years. I've been out of it for about 3 years, and I thank the Lord for that, because that He's the only reason why I got out, because I couldn't get out on my own. I would stop for a while, but it was calling me. It was just like such a hold in my life that it was calling me, like it wanted me, and I wanted it. So I had a battle, and I would stop for a little while, and I would try to be in a relationship, and I would try to be normal and live a normal life and do normal things that people do, but I just could not. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It wasn't enough for me. I desired the money. I desired the entertainment. I loved entertaining men. I love putting on clothes, dressing up, having a secret identity within myself. Because when I was that person, I was unstoppable. It was like anything that I could walk into a room full of men, and I could have anybody that I want. That's how much I had it in my hand. Like, I had that power. I had the seduction. I had the body. I had everything that I wanted. And I said, this is mine. This world is mine. Nobody could tell me no, because it was mine. And I had control. So it didn't matter if it was 5 guys that I was dealing with. It didn't matter to me at all. It didn't bother me, because in my mind, I was like, this is everything. They can find out about each other. I don't care. I don't care about nobody finding out about anything. This doesn't matter to me. I'm going to get what I want from you. And then I'm going to be done with you. And I'm going to toss you to the side. And when I want you, I'm going to call you. I had the mindset of a man, almost. And I loved it. I loved it. I loved being my second identity, because I didn't really know how to be anything else. I started this thing really early in life when I was about 15 years old. And it was just me. It was me against the world and what I was trying to do. So when I started, I just was going, stacking, getting money. And I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I loved the shopping sprees. I loved the trips. I loved the flights. I loved that lifestyle. It brought me so much in so little time. By 19, I had cars, people giving me cars, buying me apartments, everything. Never had to pay a bill a day in my life. Never had to pay for anything. And when I had my son, it didn't slow me down. Because I had went from, it was just a me mindset to, oh, we gonna do what we gotta do, because now I gotta take care of him. But when I decided to stop and say enough is enough, I got into a situation where I was dealing with a man, and he had a lot of money. But not only did he have money, he had me. And that was the first time that I was ever bound in a situation like that. Maybe like the second or third time, but really clenched down in that situation. And I looked at it as a business opportunity. Oh, I'm about to hit a lick. I'm about to get this money for real. Like, that's exactly what I thought. And I was just like, yeah, this is everything. I remember telling my friend, I was like, girl, I finally did it. I finally got one. And I mean, got one, that mean I got one in my hand. He ain't going nowhere. We spent one night together. By the third day, he moved me into his house. And I said, okay. I left everything. I was staying in the projects too. I left everything. Everything, every dime, every dollar, every clothing, everything. I got everything new. I was like, oh yeah, this is it. I don't have to worry about this ever. And then I just couldn't just be with just him. I needed something else. But see, when I'm in a committed relationship, even with a John, I was in a committed relationship and I was committed to him. And then mentally, he had my mind. I couldn't be my second identity every day. So he saw parts of myself. And he saw parts of me that I didn't even want to share. It was a natural thing, because when I'm Coco, I could be hurt for a certain period of time. I can take all the abuse. I could take all the hits. Anything that you could do to me, Coco can take it. But it's a whole nother thing when you're messing with our culture. And I'm weak. And I have no self-control. I don't have no self-esteem. I don't think that I look good. I don't feel beautiful. So everything that he would say, you this, you trifling whore, you project this, you ugly, you that, it would hit me and it would hurt me. Kill yourself, you're nothing without me. And I'll just be like, I never heard anybody say anything like that to me before. So I was like, it took me hard. It hit me real hard. And it kept going. The abuse, the verbal abuse, the waking up in the middle of the night abuse for years. And I just could not take it anymore. I was just losing it because I couldn't put my self-defense on as much as I wanted to. And because I didn't want to lose the package, the deal, I begged for him to stay. Like, I got on my knees and I begged for him not to leave me. And in that moment, I was like, couldn't believe I did it, but I did it. Because I was like, there's no way I'm going back to my lifestyle. Like, I'm going to have this and more. Like, you're going to give it to me. And I got pregnant. And I did love him. It's funny when you have experienced like a lifestyle with a pimp or something, a lot of girls stay with them for years and stuff because they really have a genuine love for them. They really feel like, oh, I'm that down one. You can mess with whoever you want to, but you gonna always have me. I'm number one. And I did love him. And I said, I'm pregnant. And then it was just right then where it was just like, we still gonna be together though. we still gonna be together. We about to have this baby, and he wasn't fond of the idea of having a baby with me. And it was just like, oh, you can kiss me and you can love me, but I was never the girl that you wanted to be their girlfriend. I was never the girl that you wanted to live with. I was never the girl that you wanted to wife up. And it made me question myself, like, what's wrong with me? So, of course, my first thought is, am I spilling out? Like, is my secret coming out? Is it, like, what is going on? Like, what is it about me? Because it seemed to me that when I was Coco and I was an entertainer, I can give you your best fantasy. That's what I was. I was the fantasy. And if I could do that for you, then why can't you just accept me for me when I'm not, when I take the mask off? Who am I now? So I already knew then, like, you know what? I have to wear this mask all the time. So after I had my son, we broke up. And he was controlling. He controlled what I ate, what I wore. You couldn't look at him any kind of way. You couldn't sound around. He couldn't bring certain kind of friends. He just had so much of my life in his hands. And no matter, even when we broke up and I moved and I had my son and it was just me and him, it was still that way. He would have people watching my house. It was real crazy. And my brother died. Like, and he would tell me, like, sis, he would be like, sis, you're beautiful. You don't need to be messing with these niggas. You are smart. And I'd be like, I never heard nobody talk to me like that before in my life. Never in my life have I heard somebody say, I'm proud of you. Never in my life that I heard somebody say that you're beautiful. When I'm taking my clothes off, oh, I'm beautiful. But not just looking at me, having a conversation with me and just stop and say, you're beautiful. And I would be like, what is wrong with you? Why are you telling me this? He'd be like, I love you. And I'd be like, okay, I hear you. And then I knew my brother loved me. So the moment he was killed and he was taken from me, like, my heart ripped because I felt like the one person in my life is gone that loved me. And now I have nothing else. and me and my son's father, now we're going at it. I don't know how I'm gonna pay my bills. I haven't slept with another man in years. And I tried to go out, but I'm not gonna do anything that I'm not gonna make the money that I wanna make. So I tried to go back. And I messed with about 5 people one night for like little of nothing. A little of nothing. When I say it was literally a little of nothing, I remember going home scrubbing myself to death. Like scrubbing myself to death. Because I couldn't believe that I just did that, and then it showed me maybe he right. Maybe I will self-destruct without him. Maybe I will not survive without him. You know, shoot, he a millionaire. I mean, ain't too many of them coming around the corner. You know, maybe this is it for me. And my brother's gone, so I don't know what to do now. I don't know what's left. I don't know what's next for me. I can't get a job. I can't work. What is that? I can't work no regular job. I'm not a regular girl. I deserve better. And it's funny how we have like living this high standard but can't do anything. So I lived a high lifestyle, but I could not do absolutely anything for myself. Could not work because, I mean, that's just beyond me. Like a regular job, like school. I never even thought about school. I was too dumb enough to go to school. Nobody told me, like I was never grown up to say you're smart enough. You can do this. You can be anything you want it to be. That wasn't my lifestyle. That wasn't what I grew up in. So it was like, you're good at having sex. This is it. And I just didn't know how to go back into it. And I made a decision that I just didn't want to do it no more. So one day I prayed and I said, because I tried to stop, and I was in this relationship, and the guy was like, what's wrong with you? Like, do you have sex issues and stuff? And I was like, no, I don't. So thank you very much. But you can dismiss yourself out of my life, out of my way. And I said, I prayed. And I just prayed a simple prayer like, Lord, save me. Because I kept trying to get out on my own and I just simply could not leave. Like, I didn't even understand it. I would say for a long time, like, oh, how you stop? Like, I don't know, my brother died. Because I was just so afraid to allow people to really get to know me, to see me, to know my secret. That was mine. It's nobody else's. It was mine. And I said, you know what? Lord, if you could save me. Because if you don't save me, I'm going to die. There's nothing out here for me. This is all I'm good at. I'm just a prostitute. That's it. There's nothing else up in line for me. There's no men waiting for me. I have niggas. I got a nigga living here. I got to do that. I don't want that. This is not enough for me no more. I don't want the money. I don't want the clothes. I don't want the houses. I'm sick of all of this. I just want to know who I am. Who I am outside of being Coco. Who am I outside of my secret identity? Who is that person? And is she good enough? Because every time I feel that I'm trying to bring this person out, I get rejected. So now I'm trying to crawl tooth and nail to hang on to Coco because that's all I have. That's all I have. I don't have nothing else. I don't have nobody else. You know. And I remember receiving the Lord in my life at that very moment. I just received him in my life. And I made a decision that, God, if you can take me out of this, then I'll serve you. And I didn't believe it. I did not believe it. I was like, God, if you can save me, you can save anybody. If you can save me, you can save anybody. Because there's nobody else like me. Openly, around me. There's nobody else like me. So if you can save me, you can save anyone. And I got saved. And I didn't know what to do next. I prayed. I prayed. And I read my Bible. And I would call this prayer line. because I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking, and I just did not know why I was doing those things to begin with. And see, when I stopped, my flesh was craving for men. I mean, like never before. I didn't care who it was. I would just sleep with somebody just to sleep with them. I would entertain somebody just to entertain them, just because I knew I could do it. Just because when I got there, I had a sense of power. And it filled me up. It filled me up. So when I had full knowledge that I have the Holy Spirit, I was proud of myself. I was proud of what I did for a living. Like, nobody could tell me anything. Once I started, it was like, yeah, this is what I did. I was making so much money. It was so fun. Like, I was living my life because I didn't have it anymore. And then I started realizing, like, this thing has my mind. It has a hold on me. Like, I can't escape this. Like, I cannot escape this. And then I started visualizing what I was doing with those men, how I felt, like how I really felt. Not like the numbness wore off. It was just like smack reality just hit me in those moments. And I'm just seeing how I felt with those men, how uncomfortable I felt touching me in places, going into those hotels, how I felt going in there. It had my mind. And I was like, what the crap? I wasn't seeing this before. Why wasn't I seeing this before? Because I was blinded. I was blinded by the money. I was blinded by the clothes. I was blinded by the houses and the cars. I was blind by the lifestyle. But I wasn't really seeing how much it really damaged me emotionally. How much it damaged me physically. How much I slept with a pimp in the car and he smacked me when I asked him for money. How that made me feel. That was buried. That was buried. And it hurt. And then the more that I said, and I said, I don't want to be, I mean, God, take this from me. Like, if I could snatch it out my skin, like, I would do that. Because I don't want to be this person. I want to know that there's goodness. I want to know that I can be better than this. Who am I, God? Who am I? Who is our culture? Because I don't want to be Coco anymore. I want to be our culture. Who is that person? What does she look like to you? What does she like? And now I have grown this whole identity and forgot about myself. And let me tell you, the search of your identity, especially in the very place that you did all this stuff in, is the hardest thing of your life. It was the hardest thing of my life to make a decision in the very place that I started. Because it's everywhere. You run into the same people you slept with. They're everywhere. And it's like, ain't nobody gonna believe that I'm changed. Ain't nobody gonna believe that I'm saved. Nobody's gonna believe that. And at first they didn't. At first they thought it was a joke. At first they looked at me and they was like, oh, you talking about Cole? Oh yeah, she for everybody. And I could say it. But it took work, it took time, it took effort. And I said, I'm going to show not them, myself, that I can change. Because I'm worth it. And that's the thing. You have to know that you're worth it. You have to know that you're valuable, that you mean something, that you're just not something just for somebody to come inside of. Or to jack off to, or to jerk off to, or ejaculate to. You're more than that. And I was more than that. I'm young, I'm beautiful, I'm talented. And I just threw all that away. I threw all that away because I never knew. I never knew until the Lord in the Word started showing me, like, you're the apple to my very eye. And I was afraid to come to God because I felt so disgusting in His sight. You don't want nobody. I'm far from holy. I'm far from it. Far from it. Far from it. How can you even look at me with all the shame and guilt that I have? How could you even stare at me? Like, How could you do that? How could you want somebody like me? But your word says that I'm forgiven for my sins. I am forgiven for what I've done. I'm forgiven for what I've been through. I'm forgiven. And that's one thing that took me a very long time to believe. I'm forgiven. Because not only did I have to forgive myself, I had to forgive everyone else. Everyone else that added on to me pulling the cocoa out. So if that's your mom, your dad, your sister, brother, whoever. And I was like, this is crazy. Okay, I can do this. And I would pray. And I would cry. I mean, I would cry like a baby. And now, mind y'all, I'm doing all of this. And I'm still smoking, drinking. And all I got to do is stay in my house. So I'm just trying to figure out how I'm really going to get out. Lord, how am I going to get out of this? Because I'm here and I'm saved. But I still have a lot going on. And then one day, I was attending a church once. And I called the lady and she said, I coach her. You got to walk away. I said, walk away? Like, you got to walk away. Why? Okay, hold on. When the scripture says you have to give up your life and follow him, that's what it meant. So I had to give up my life. So I was hurt. I had to prepare myself. It's like, I am not strong enough for this. How am I going to walk away? I don't have anything. I don't have any money. I don't have a place to live. Where are me and my son going to go? I don't have nothing. And my god sister, she was like, Coach, you can come stay with me. And I stayed with her. I left. Left my house. Left my everything. I just left everything. My furniture. I sold everything. I didn't want nothing. I was praying like, Lord, I'm believing in you now. Let me tell you, I wouldn't just be doing this if I wasn't trusting by faith that you was going to bring me out on the other side. And I left and I walked away from it. And I moved in with my sister. Sold everything I had, furniture. All I took was the clothes on my back. I had a car, didn't even work. Didn't even work. And that's it. That's all I had. That in my car. And my car that was broken down. And I just was like, okay, Lord, how am I going to get my car fixed? I'm going to have to get a job. And I got a job. And I got my first check. And I cried. I cried. Because I never had to work before in my life. I never really had to work hard before to live every day. Never had to do that without calling a man to come and rescue me somehow. And I did. I got a job, and about a year later, I was still staying with people. I went from staying with my god sisters to staying with my mom. My mom. And that was hard. But I prayed. And I waited. And I prayed. And in the time of praying, I found out a lot of roots to my issues. To why are you this way? Why are you like this? I found out a lot of healing. That I needed counseling. That I needed to get to the root of my issues. I needed to forgive my mom. And that was a hard place for me to be in. But the Lord knew what he was doing. And sometimes that may seem ironic. But if you trust him, he will bring you back. He will allow you to be who you wanted to be. So I said, okay. Now, I'm struggling with addictions. Terribly struggling with addictions. I'm struggling with childhood molestation. I'm struggling with all kinds of stuff. And I'm just trying to figure out what in the world. How did I get here? I mean, it was one thing for me to walk away, but what is all of this stuff coming from? And I started going in therapy. And I was attending AA meetings. Because I had to keep it together. I wasn't doing drugs anymore. It took me a long time to stop. I had to pray hard. Like, Lord, I just didn't want to live my life with suppressing my past. I just didn't want to do that. And it took time. It's not an overnight decision. It took me years. almost. And then I got me an apartment. I had an eviction, and I got an apartment by myself. Apartment, it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. I had a job, a good job. I went from working in maintenance to getting a promotion as a pharmacy technician. I didn't even do anything. I said, oh God, this must be you. I was making good money. And I said, I now know what it's like to live by myself. I now know that I can do this. That I trusted God, and I waited, and I let him lead me, even when it hurt me, even when it broke me, even when I fell short. Because God knows I was still craving men at that time. I was hard. But I made a decision that I didn't want that. Everything is a choice. If you choose to walk away from something, especially when you don't have the answers, especially when you don't know what's next, it's the hardest thing you do. And that's what God says, that thing like comes by faith. You have to believe. You have to believe that you're more than a piece of meat that's tossed around. That you're not weak. That you're not worthless. That you're not garbage. And you have to find it in yourself to say, I am beautiful. I can do this. Now, this situation may have me right now, but I'm getting out. I'm breaking free because I want my freedom. I want to know who I am without living a life like this. I can't be like this until the day I die. You have to make that decision. To say, I'm willing to walk away. I didn't have anything. I didn't have nothing. I had a son. I had nothing. No job, no money, no nothing. But you got to believe that God is going to open up the doors for you to have that. And everybody may not understand that. It's embarrassing. The church, it's hard. It's hard coming around people where you feel like you can be open with and they're judging you. But everybody's not like that. Everybody's not like that. Everybody have genuine heart. There are good people out here that are not trying to use you and to take advantage of you and to hurt you. And then there's some people that are. You have to trust God. You have to have the spirit of discernment. And trust that. Know what you're fighting for. Know that you're fighting for your freedom. Know that you're fighting for your child. Whatever it is that's going to keep. My son wasn't enough for me. I'm just going to be honest with you. I needed to do it for me. Because he's nothing without me. And if I'm dead, if I take my life and I'm dead, which I tried to. And I prayed and I said, bro, this is it, God. I'm killing myself. And my friend said, I coach her, if the enemy wants to kill you so bad, don't you think God has plans for your life? I need to find out what those plans are. Right now. I need to go find out. Because this can't be it for me. I can't just be just a pretty face and thighs. This is a good time. I'm more than that. I'm worth more than that. You are worth more than that. You can do this. And of course you're going to be afraid. This is everything that you knew. I was afraid. It was everything that I knew. But it was not by my strength that I got here. And guess what? I'm married. I got married to someone who loved the Lord but loves me. Who I can be myself with. That knows about my past. That knows that I'm a prostitute. That I was a prostitute. And he said to me when I told him, I don't care what you did. The same way that God forgave you and that showed grace to you, I can show the same grace to you. You deserve to be with somebody. You don't have to hide who you are. That's not tricking you off. That's not trying to just bring you around just to please their friends or to be a trophy. You're worth more than that. You're worth somebody that's saying, my wife is beautiful. Like, she loves everything about her. She's smart. She's kind. She's wise. Not yet. She got a fat butt. She a pretty face. Come here, baby. Like, Just turn around for me. You're worse than a show. So how I got out? Salvation. It's how I got out. Giving my life to the Lord. Walking away from everything that I knew so that he can give me a new life, a new identity. The word says that you are a new creation in Christ Jesus. New. And it's not by you, but it's by the work of the Holy Spirit that will live within you. And he will do a new work with you. A new work in you. And in time after time, this pastor told me once, he said, we're like onions. You just peel back layer by layer. You don't know how much damage is going on inside of you. You don't know why you're doing the things that you're doing. Sometimes, especially living in this lifestyle, we bury stuff so deep. It's so deep and rooted that we have no idea how we're getting there, how we're getting out of it. What is that? You don't know. All you know to do is suppress it. Just like you have to suppress it when you go be with a man. Just like I had to. But I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to live that life anymore. And I'm thankful and I'm blessed to know a God that loves me. No matter how many times that I messed up. No matter how many men that I slept with. That says that I'm just right for him. And I'm young. And that I can serve him and I can. And people will say, okay, you remember how you used to be? Yes, you better testify on my behalf, girl. You know how I was used to be. I was about my money. I was about it. And I didn't care who I hurt in the process. It's a dangerous mindset to have. So, that's how I got out. Declare your freedom. Declare your way out. You can do it.